Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
Okay, we start with the recitation of Holy Quran. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim. Ghairil maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Okay, students, I welcome you again on this course of telemedicine and telemedicine systems. And in last session, we were into the 7 layers of open system interconnection reference model, and we briefly covered each layer with the function provided and the services provided at each layer. So I would like you to have any question from the students जो लास्ट क्लास में हमने पढ़ा था उसके हवाले से. इफ़ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन, अगर आपके जहन में कोई सवाल है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं.
Assalamualaikum, sir. No question, sir.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम. ओके, थैंक यू. Okay. Now we finally, before leaving this topic and moving towards the wireless area, there is one more concept which is called a protocol stack. So whenever we select a particular network, it is not necessary to select each protocol which is exist on any of the layer. For example, on a network layer, there is a protocol which is called IP. Okay, या जिसको हम IP एड्रेस भी कहते हैं. So internet IP, this exists on network layer. Similarly, on application layer, there exists a protocol which is called HTTP. Okay, so this is hypertext transfer protocol, HTTP, जिसको हम वेब जो वेब पे कोई पेज एक्सेस करते हैं तो HTTP और HTTPS लिखा हुआ आता है. Similarly, there are other protocols on the application layer as well. For example, SMTP, which is for simple mail transfer protocol. So session initiate protocol, yeah, session and communication protocol, there are different names. Okay, so there may be multiple protocols which exist at particular layer. For example, on transport layer, there TCP and IP. These names are primarily new for you, but this is the short name for the protocols which exist on these layers. Okay, UDP is a user datagram protocol. So these protocols are primarily a software. When we talk the layer 3, 4 and above, but when we talk about the layer 4, 3, 2, 1, they may be embedded in the hardware as well. Okay, so at the final we are having the hardware on the physical layer. Whereas when we go from hardware to the software, then there the possibility that the part of the code is written in the hardware. For example, at the data link layer, part of the code is in the software, and part of the code is in the hardware. So for example, in the form of logic gates. So whenever we talk about an application, we talk about a protocol stack. And that protocol stack primarily consists of only those protocols which are required. For example, one application uses अगर हम वेब ब्राउजिंग की बात कर लेते हैं, ओके 1 2 3 4 5, okay, it will be sufficient. So here we are using HTTP, for example, and then on, because on TCP IP, these three layers are combined, 7, 6, and 5. So HTTP has the inbuilt functionality to do the work of presentation layer and the session layer as well. So one of the protocol from here is being selected. It is usually UDP, यूजर डेटाग्राम प्रोटोकॉल, बिकॉज जो सिंपल पोस्टल सर्विस है उससे लिंक है ये, यानी वैसा है प्रोटोकॉल है. अभी हम इस प्रोटोकॉल की बात करेंगे, व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन दीज टू प्रोटोकॉल्स. एंड देन वी हैव द IP protocol and some other protocol at the data link layer, and similarly we have some other protocol at the physical layer. Okay, so let's say on the network layer we have the IP, but this is there is another protocol which is resembling Wi-Fi, for example. Okay, IEEE something 80 point something, 802 dot something. Okay, so then similarly other protocols. So that formation in which we extract a subset out of the whole bunch of available software and services, then we create what is called a protocol stack for a particular application. Okay. So it depends on the application. Like for example, a video conferencing application has a different protocol requirement. And similarly, voice communication has a different requirement of protocols. और अगर हम business application की बात करें, then the business application has another requirement. For example, it does not have HTTPS, but instead of it is using HTTPS, which is a secure version of the HTTP. So just to highlight at the final level is this reference model is primarily a conceptual reference model which provides the guidelines. But the practical model may not be of 7 layers, maybe 5 to 4 layers only, and a subset of the software pieces are the protocols which are selected from the each layer to form. Now finally, there is a difference between the UDP and TCP. इसको highlight कर लेते हैं. What is a because generally the space of this layer is very important when we talk about the communication networks. Although other layers are also important, but this is the layer which primarily implements the flow control at software level. और सॉफ्टवेयर की खास बात क्या होती है? सॉफ्टवेयर की खास बात ये होती है कि we can make a change in the software at any point in time. जबकि हार्डवेयर के साथ जो बैड लक होती है वो ये होती है कि हार्डवेयर making any change in the hardware is not feasible at most of the time. जबकि एडवांटेज क्या होता है हार्डवेयर का? हार्डवेयर इज मोर फास्ट, और सॉफ्टवेयर का जो डिसएडवांटेज है वो क्या है कि सॉफ्टवेयर इज स्लो टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू प्रोसेसिंग जब हम बात करते हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई a trade-off is required. Some components are in the hardware, some components are in the software. और खास तौर पे जो configuration changes हैं, they are primarily a component which need to be changed and frequently. So a software is used to make those changes, but those changes can exist in the hardware as well. कि वो चेंजेस हम हार्डवेयर में कर दें और सेव कर लें. Now TCP is a transmission control protocol which require a connection. So if there is a user and there is another user, user 1, 2, and there between them there are network devices. Many network devices are there, but then a dedicated connection is established between these two entities, these two computers, and then a communication is started. But in the form of यूजर डेटाग्राम प्रोटोकॉल, जैसा कि इससे नाम से इजारा, जैसे टेलीग्राफ सर्विस होती थी पहले, और जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल पोस्टल सर्विस होती है. सो द अबव इज द एग्जांपल ऑफ अ टेलीग्राफ, बट द डाउनवर्ड इज एग्जांपल ऑफ अ पोस्टल सर्विस. Similarly, in user 1 and user 2, there is a network, but the connection established is primarily not a dedicated connection, but it is a virtual connection. Virtual connection means the connection can change at any point in time. So it is usually shown in the form of dotted lines. So in the form of the dotted lines. So any point in time, the connection can be changed. For example, this machine goes down and the path is broken. Then automatically another path is selected. This is the UDP. Whereas in TCP, if something goes down, the connection is then broken. Then the connection is retried, and when a new connection is established, then the communication starts on. This is the difference between these two. And also, initially for voice communication, TCP is used, but as the network matured, a combination of TCP and UDP both is used. But in some applications like email, for example, it is using on UDP. क्योंकि email में देखें आपने send कर दिया, अब it is not primarily required कि वो real time में communication, but TCP is primarily real time communication. So whenever we go into the details of these layers, usually books are written on each of the layer separately. यानी किताबों की किताबें मौजूद हैं जो सिर्फ एक ही लेयर पे बात करती हैं. And we are not interested in going into the depth of this protocol stack, general protocol stack, but we are only interested to know what is the function of the each layer and how these layers interact with each other. Remember, these layers interact each other with the help of concept which is called service access point, जो हमने last class में discuss कर लिया. Now, this is primarily a pretty simple overview, and in addition to the last concept, which I have highlighted here, now I am going quickly to the last topic of this primarily slides, which is related with the sites. So why there is a site survey? Because we want to set up a wireless network, and in wireless network, because the signal strength is very important. So we want to ensure that the coverage area जिसमें हम ये एक वायरलेस नेटवर्क लगाने जा रहे हैं या उसमें इम्प्रूव करने जा रहे हैं, इसमें जहाँ जहाँ ज़रूरत की जगह हैं वहाँ तमाम जगहों पे जो सिग्नल की स्ट्रेंथ है वो एक्सेप्टेबल लेवल में हो. इसको थोड़ा सा ज़रा ब्रीफली मैं एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ कि व्हाट इज़ द एक्चुअल सिनेरियो एंड व्हाट इज़ गोइंग ऑन इन बिटवीन. So if we consider a mobile device, एक मोबाइल है हमारे पास. So So this mobile when primarily operating, जब ये ऑपरेट कर रहा होता है, so there are different towers. मैं इंटरनेट की बात नहीं कर रहा, मैं फिलहाल जो है उसकी बात कर रहा हूँ जो हमारे पास कम्युनिकेशन नेटवर्क होता है. So we have the tower. We have a communication tower के जिसके अंदर जो है ये सर्विस जो है इसकी एस्टेब्लिश हुई हुई है. This is a communication link which is established between these two. So for a mobile phone to communicate with the tower, and similarly because there is a similar communication device with some significantly improved hardware on this tower, the signal strength is in primarily a acceptable level so that the mobile phone can use the service through this link, establish a connection and then start using that service. So what happens if this mobile phone primarily moves to an area where there is another tower which is providing a sort of same service which is provided by the T1. Okay, so in that case, similarly we are getting the signal from the tower 2 and mobile phone, but the strength of the signal from tower 2 is lower and the strength of the signal from T1 is higher. So mobile phone is happy to be connected with primarily with T1. But if this T2 moves close to the mobile phone, now the strength of T2 is higher as compared to the T1 because the T1 is now moved away. So the mobile phone is not happy and it primarily now want to change the direction to T2 and now it binds itself to the tower number 2 and now it is happy. Okay, so this is the case when mobile phone moves in a coverage area from one tower to another tower. So there is an algorithm which is written inside the mobile phone which works, which check the strength of the towers and then it moves to the tower with a greater strength. Okay, and in sometimes it happens it is primarily in a region where both towers signals are not primarily with a strength which is acceptable. Then this mobile phone says that there is no service. Or sometimes if a tower failure, equipment on the tower is failed and no nearby tower is available for service, then there is a primarily no service again. So this type of communication is between mobile device and a mobile service point. So if we assume that this mobile phone is primarily a site which is serviced by, let's say, this is another access point, this is another access point, and this is another access point. Similarly, this mobile phone is not alone. It has the number of places where it exists, and different devices are primarily co-locate each other. If we say this primarily has a coverage region of like थोड़ा बड़ा करना पड़ेगा इसे. Let's say this is the coverage region, and this is the coverage region of this one, for example, and this is the coverage region of this one, and this is the coverage region of this one. Okay, so this is the tower, and these are the mobile devices, are the mobile placements which exist. So this is again a tower. This is again a tower or a service point, and again a tower and a service point. So this situation over here reflects a case in which you can easily see that this mobile will be primarily, let's say, some colors. Okay, this mobile is black नहीं होना चाहिए. This mobile is happy because it is binded to the T with a very because it is in the coverage region, and the coverage region assumes that the strength is okay. This is probably happy, and this is also in a position which is happy or not happy. And I'm sure this mobile is not happy because it does not in any coverage region. Okay, so in practical situations, the thing which will work is over here. Okay, this mobile is this will work. Okay, this is the only happy mobile phone for all the time. This is primarily, let's say, this is almost happy approximately, because most of the time it is in the coverage region. It is not primarily, this is also not happy. So in this case, the site survey is not primarily performed in a way, and the installation is done in a way that some of the mobile stations are not properly covered. Only one is primarily properly covered. Then what to do? So we have to actually move, make some effort and move primarily this tower to somewhere, or this mobile phone to somewhere, so that it will be happy like this one. Okay, so this is the whole story behind the site survey and the use of the site survey to make the installations, for example, tower, and as well as the mobile phones or the mobile stations inside the primarily service area. Let's say it's a hospital, and this is the network which is in the hospital. You can also assume this is a university, or this is a campus, and we are talking about the coverage inside the campus. Okay, any question here? Okay, now we move on, and we move on towards primarily the site survey. The site survey is very important step towards the network planning. So network has not been installed yet, and we are planning the network. But once the network is installed and some enhancement and changes are required in the network, that means to improve the coverage area and to primarily inquire or audit if all the areas are covered, then also survey is performed. It is performed primarily as a part of network planning. आजकल तो ये बहुत ही यानी यूँ समझिए कि लैकिंग है, बहुत कम ही नेटवर्क प्लानिंग को फोकस किया जाता है, बट इनिशियली दिस वाज ए वेरी okay. So, and this is vital to establish the correct number of placements of radio stations or access points in anywhere wireless network. We have already gone through the basic concept. So establishing the impact on signal reception under different scenarios cannot taken lightly. Site survey and simulations allow stress tests to be carried out to find out the problems such as poor reception, interference, and possibility of hacking, etc. Okay. And site survey primarily entails measuring wireless signal and using the measured data for network planning and optimization. ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता कि आप एक यूनिवर्सिटी कैंपस है और उस कैंपस के अंदर जो बिल्डिंग्स हैं वो सिर्फ एक इस जगह पे एक बिल्डिंग इस जगह पे बिल्डिंग है, तो आप तमाम जगहों पे यूनिफॉर्मली जो है वो वायरलेस कवरेज दे दें. इट इज़ नॉट पॉसिबल, एंड इट इज़ आल्सो नॉट पॉसिबल कि आप जो है वो ये अज्यूम कर लें कि हर जगह पे जो यूज़र की डेंसिटी होगी वो सेम होगी. मे बी यहाँ पे एक क्रिकेट ग्राउंड है और इस क्रिकेट ग्राउंड में जो है वो वाईफाई की नीड ही नहीं है, वायरलेस की नीड ही नहीं है, और मे बी इस ड्यूरिंग ए पर्टिकुलर टाइम, फॉर एग्जांपल फ्रॉम 10 AM to 2 PM जो है वो यहाँ पे कवरेज की ज़रूरत है, एंड नॉट बियॉन्ड दैट, इस टाइमिंग के अलावा नहीं है. Okay, so these kind of questions are primarily exist when a survey is being planned. So the technologies, because they are also important, so two technologies primarily compete when we talk about the telemedicine solutions. One is called Bluetooth and another is Zigbee. We can introduce Wi-Fi as well if we want to, if in this chart. So there is a standard which covers the Bluetooth. So if we want to know about the Bluetooth, so this is the 802.15.1. Okay. So this is an IEEE standard, and similarly Zigbee is also in 802.15. But it is a separate group, which is a subgroup of 15, a subgroup. यानी 802 का एक ग्रुप 15 है और 15 का आगे एक ग्रुप जो है वो 4 है, and similarly 15 का एक ग्रुप जो है वो 1. So there is a modulation technique which is used in primarily this technology, which is frequency hopping spectrum, because we are not interested in in-depth communication, so we are not talking about कि इसके अंदर क्या हो रहा है, but this is just a modulation technique. Modulation के बारे में थोड़ा सा बता देते हैं. Let's say we are talking to sound, we are talking from one person to another person. So actually this is the sound. हम sound को communicate करवाना चाह रहे हैं. But the person is living in another city. This is, let's say, Karachi, and this is, we are in the Hyderabad, a person. So it is not possible for a real-time communication to be established through voice communication only, because the speed of voice inside the air is about 300 meters per second. And it is not feasible if we have established a voice communication channel through this. So what we need to do is we convert this sound signal into the electrical signal, and we know that the electrical signal is primarily move fast, and this primarily then by this conversion here and this reverse here serves the purpose. जैसे मस्जिद के लाउड स्पीकर में भी ऐसा ही होता है कि वो मौलाना साहब बोल रहे हैं तो स्पीकर तक आवाज़ पहुंच जाती है, और वो स्पीकर चूँकि करीब होता है या उसके अंदर इतनी जो लाउडनेस होती है कि तमाम लोग उसको सुन सकते हैं. So the main modulator here is the electricity which is added into the sound signal. Our sound signal is converted into a form which is primarily moved fast. This thing is also implemented because electrical signal is usually modeled as a sine wave or a cos wave. Okay, sine can be easily in the form of a sine wave. Okay, but sound is like this. Like अगर आपने sound का record देखा हो, यानी sound का जो देखा हुआ हो, okay, sound is like this. Okay. So when we convert sound into the signal, then signal is not primarily taken as the ideal case. We actually multiply both. So when we multiply both, we get a pattern like this one. जो मैं ऐसे ही बना देता हूँ. They like this one. And this pattern is then sent and received on the other side, which then reconstruct the signal to a form by again multiplying with a sinusoidal to generate the sound. So this way the modulation is primarily introduced inside the system, so that instead of only sending the sine wave and receiving the sine wave, the multiplication or the correlation between these two signals is assigned. This correlation is primarily modulation. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल हम यूनिवर्सिटी जा रहे हैं तो हम घर से पैदल भी तो जा सकते हैं यूनिवर्सिटी, लेकिन दरमियान में हम एक मॉड्यूलेटर गाड़ी को यूज कर लेते हैं. गाड़ी क्या करती है, हमें जल्दी पहुंचा देती है. गाड़ी किसी भी तरह की हो सकती है, तो मॉड्यूलेशन की भी डिफरेंट टाइप्स हो सकती है. बस हो सकती है, कार हो सकती है, और अगर हम एक शहर से दूसरे शहर में जा रहे हो तो एरोप्लेन की सर्विस भी हो सकती है, और बाज़ जगहों पे तो पानी यानी जो बोट के जरिए से भी जाया जा सकता है. सो देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ मॉड्यूलेशंस which are being used. This is related with the communication techniques. Or a communication can be used. So after modulation, we have the network throughput, because sometimes the data traffic is huge, sometimes the data traffic is not huge. So in that case we need the requirement of the data type. Remember हमने एक table में we primarily reviewed the requirements of different type of signals like voice, image, and for example medical data like ECG. And typical time to establish connection, Bluetooth, it takes a longer time to establish a connection, whereas in a ZigBee the connection is established very fast. Similarly, protocol stack size is 250 KB and 28 KB, which is a cut down version. It's that means it's a specific and specialized ZigBee is a specialized kind of primarily technology, and therefore it should be used in specific areas, whereas Bluetooth is a general purpose technology. Battery charging mode. So the frequent charging is required in the case of Bluetooth, but in the case of ZigBee, the primarily is a high capacity and less frequent charging is required in the case of ZigBee. There are other specifications which can be compared for these two standards. आर द टेक्नोलॉजीज, क्योंकि स्टैंडर्ड जो है वो स्पेसिफाई करता है गाइडलाइंस. These are the guidelines in which you can make your device. Then there is a technology which primarily implements those guidelines. And there are companies which make further changes to the Bluetooth technology, and then they make their proprietary devices. And these devices, then if they are following these guidelines, and these guidelines and the implementations of those guidelines in the form of technology, then they can interoperate with the other manufacturers device as well. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल मोबाइल फ़ोन का ब्लूटूथ दूसरे मोबाइल फ़ोन के ब्लूटूथ डिवाइस से मुख्तलिफ हो सकता है, बट बिकॉज ऑफ द सेम स्टैंडर्ड दे कैन कम्युनिकेट विद ईच अदर. एक दूसरे से पेयर कर लेते हैं और उसके बाद उसको यूज कर लेते हैं. So this is a difference between the standard guidelines, the implementation guidelines, and then final product. So this graph is primarily a pictorial format. It also includes Wi-Fi and body area network and other. अगर हम x-axis की तरफ देखें तो it is related with the power consumption, और y-axis की तरफ देखें तो it relates with the data throughput. So as we go towards the more power consuming devices on the right side, and then the throughput is going to increase, which is obviously कि अगर हम ज़्यादा एनर्जी लगाएंगे तो ज़्यादा काम कर पाएंगे. So but in the body area network, as you can see, depending upon the use of sensors and the requirement of the data, आप ये नहीं चाहेंगे कि जो हार्ट बीट का डेटा है वो एक सेकंड में जो है वो 10 दफ़ा एक्वायर हो या 20 दफ़ा एक्वायर हो या 50 दफ़ा एक्वायर हो. You may ask only 10 samples within 1 second. And similarly the ECG data, and similarly the other data. बट जो डेटा इम्पोर्टेंट होगा जिसमें वॉइस और जो वीडियो होगी, दैट हैव ए डिफरेंट. So moving on the similar lines of the site survey, there are some parameters which need to be taken care of: the coverage area, the capacity, the number of users, the interference, and physical obstacles, which are very important. For example, if we are using the line of sight technologies. Interference is also important because only one in a coverage area, there are many mobile phones, but at one point in time, only one mobile phone can communicate with the tower. This is the initial setup. But afterwards, because the 4G and 5G, they have an encoding scheme in which all the devices can communicate at the same time. But in 3G and the technologies which are 3G, 2G, and 1G, which are still around, they are, in that case, there's only one primarily device can communicate with the tower at one particular instance of time. So that's why the limit in a particular coverage area may be 1,000 devices up to, let's say, 4,000 devices. But usually the 4,000 case is rare, only 1,000 devices are mostly supported. But the case of 4G and 5G is different because they are using the encoding schemes which bind every mobile phone to the tower. So every mobile phone can communicate at any time because of the coding advantage. 5G is a different. 5G को भी मैंने भी स्टडी नहीं किया है कि which encoding scheme जो है उसमें यूज हो रही है. But 4G is definitely using connecting all mobiles, almost doubling the capacity of the number of users. So interference and physical obstacles, इसी को थोड़ा थोड़ा आगे एक्सप्लेन किया गया है. कवरेज एरिया इज डायरेक्टली रिलेटेड टू द सिग्नल स्ट्रेंथ, जो अभी हमने एक डायग्राम बनाई थी और उसकी बात की थी. देन द नेटवर्क कैपेसिटी एंड द इंटरफेरेंस. अब हमारे पास टाइम चुके, थोड़ा रह गया है, सो वी विल टेक ए ब्रेक एंड कम बैक आफ्टर 10 to 15 मिनट्स। मैं आपसे लिंक शेयर करूंगा।